ahead and get started. I'll tell you a little bit about who I am more as we get, hold on, technology again. Cancel. All right. As we get through some of the slides, I'll tell you a little bit more of who I am. And so what I want to start off doing is just to say, yes, my name is Myrtha Dubois. And I usually start off by saying bonjour, which is really just, let's go out there and make it a great day. It's not just having a great day, it's making it your own. And I am so thankful for, I want to say her name right, Padria, who set the tone for me as far as the mindset part, and Leslie came in and set me up with the goal setting part. So thank you, ladies, for setting me up for success. Now, if you are here because you heard I had a secret to share, please write secret in the comment section. I would love to know if I have more secrets, who am I gonna share that with? Let me know in the, bear with me, hold on. There we go. All right, so I want to see the chat, which is what I was looking for. Okay, thank you so very much. Thank you for being here. Welcome for being here, and congratulations for being here. Now, before we get started and get too deep into my presentation, I want to let you know there are two things happening here. I have this freebie. It is a Canva-like bag, and there are some of my favorite goodies inside that I am going to gift to two people. Okay, so the key is to take good notes and to meet me at the end of the session, because that's when I'll be handing those two bags out. Now, let's start off by putting on our dream hats, right? Make sure that it's fitting on just right and looking cute, okay? And so I ask you, what do you want out of your life? It doesn't matter if it's a personal thing or a business thing. What do you want out of life? You know, what type of car do you want? What style of house do you want? Do you want to travel? Where do you want to go? What do you want to see? Are you looking to getting pets? What type of pets do you want? Do you want kids? Do you want a relationship, an intimate relationship? What is it that you want? You see, our dreams are a creative vision to and for our future. That's what Joseph Campbell said anyway, but then it was backed up by our good book, which reads, "A man without vision shall, where my Christian sisters and brothers at, shall perish." Having no vision, no clarity tends, I'm gonna admit somebody here. All right, how you doing, Meg? Having no vision or clarity tends to leave us stuck. Would you agree? Raise your hand if you would agree. Because when you're going somewhere, how many of us know it's important to have a destination in mind, right? How do you get from where you are to where you want to go? Let me know if you are the type of dreamer like Martin Luther King, who had a dream so big that everybody wanted stock, right? How about Oprah Winfrey, who refuses to allow negative voices to cloud her actions? J.K. Rowling, well, she believed that she was worth it, and so much worth, right? How about Colonel Sanders, 65 years old, and this man was walking towards his vision. He had clarity. He knew exactly where he wanted to go. It didn't matter the pit stops. It didn't matter. He was heading towards his dream. Michael Jordan trusted the process. Maybe not his process, but he trusted the process. I'm going to tell you why the process is important as we go through the slides a little bit. So we have these dreaming examples, right? These dreamers. And I am convinced that everything we want starts with a dream. I'm going to go ahead and admit somebody else. Hold on. All right. I am convinced that everything we want starts with a dream. But how do we get from a dream to living our dream. How is that possible, Myrtha? We get from a dream to living our dream. The answer is our why. The answer is our why. See, why is that thing that fuels us, like gas in a car? Why is that thing that refuses to let us sleep too long? You know how you want to cover your head and something's nudging you and you're like, oh, leave me alone. And it can't because your why won't let you. Why is that thing that gets you up, gets you moving, gets you going? You know, I see why as a deep conviction. It's actually like a commitment to yourself. As entrepreneurs, we know that investors, business partners, mastermind groups, networking groups, all have an interest in two things. They want to know two things about us. One is our vision, and two is our why. Now, for this session, our session for you and I today, we're going to focus on the why. And as of a few months ago, guess what happened? I just let somebody else in. We as entrepreneurs and boss, I'm certain we've started to ask ourselves some questions like, self, what is my vision? What do I want to do? And why now? Just like, why do we want to build our dream business online now? That's a question that we want to know. And let me take you back to one of my good friends, Frederick Nishke. I'm sure you've heard of him. Now, back in the day, he said, Myrtha, he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. You know what that means? That means there's no excuse. There's no distraction. There is no challenge too big that's going to keep you from meeting your why, your how, your dream, your vision. Now, real quickly, can I get two people? I don't want you to type it down in the comment section. I just need two people to tell me, what is your why? It's two people, really quickly. Unmute yourself. Go ahead and tell me who you are and your why.
I am Mel, and my why is because I'm absolutely livid and tired of things the way they are. And somebody's got to make some changes. And I know that sounds really like big and everything, but I have been through mental health crises after mental health crises. I have had my health and my weight and my mental health and my abilities questioned and re-questioned at every possible turn along the way. And I am really tired of talking to other people who have been down those same roads and can't see a way out because they're not being heard.
Thank you for that. I need somebody else real quickly. Tell me who you are and your why.
Hi, my name is Ray.
I'm Meg Campbell. My why at this point is because I was tired of killing myself 40 hours a week in a job I hated, making millions for someone else. I'm going to put in that effort. That money's going to be in my pocket and benefit my family.
Your family, right?
Yes.
Awesome. And Mel, what were you said you're tired of things as they are. Is that for you or for your loved ones?
For humanity.
For humanity. Perfect. Now, let me tell you, if you're taking notes, this is a hint. This is going to be a real question towards the end to write this down, whatever it is that they said. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very, very much. Now, I'd like to go a step further. You know, with the dreamers, I'd like to take you on a little daydreaming, if you don't mind. Really quickly, let's do that. Go with me. Go with the flow. Close your eyes for me. Everybody's eyes closed. Now, let me ask you, have you ever wondered what your life would be like without the added stress, the overwhelm, the frustration, the chaos, the fear, the doubt? Have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you can be so resilient that you are able to bounce back quickly from your challenges that life throws at you? Have you ever wondered how you can take just one small step and still make a big impact? All right, raise your hands. I want to see hands. Who is thinking and wondering about this? I'm going to let somebody in. All right, perfect. Thank you so very much. You can go ahead and open your eyes. For those of you who raised your hands, and there were quite a few, Would you like for me to share that very tool that can get you to your rhythm and flow? Because how many of you know that is going to take you dancing around a little bit, like the quote suggests, dancing in the rain? Would you like for me to share the secret of gaining clarity? How many of you would like for me to share how you can become the example of that person? That's right, the person that someone wants to follow. Of course, absolutely, it's a no-brainer. This is what we are doing here. We want more, we want better, we want a fix, we want an answer. Correct? So at this time, it is good for me to note, and if you're taking notes, you might as well take this one. We are where we are in our lives as a result of our decisions and not because we are a product of our circumstance. And secondly, we are in charge of what we want. Are we getting this? Are we understanding this? See, because in a moment, you are about to discover the first step to taking charge of your life. In a moment, you are about to discover how to declare what is important to you. In a moment, you are about to take one incremental step, which can lead to big results. And by the end of our session, I promise that you will give yourself permission to be transparent and vulnerable. And we already have. We closed our eyes, we raised our hands, we talked about our why. I'm also going to promise that I am going to share my secret with you, and I am going to equip you with that tool that's going to help you do more, have more, and be more. I promise that you will be empowered to promote self-love, and that by the end of this session, I would like to invite you to live on purpose and with purpose. So yes, we are in charge, but then we have all these things going on, right? That we have to deal with. These outside interferences is what I call them. And it keeps us stressed. That's the problem. It keeps us frustrated. It keeps us living in a world of, what's happening, where we're running around in circles. We're uncertain of our next steps. We're afraid of making moves, which means that we get stuck and we stay stuck. We're stuck at that job that we don't like. We're stuck in that relationship that's not making us feel right. We're stuck facing situations and circumstances that are really not for us, not for our best. Did you know that over 75% of Americans are unhappy with their jobs? Psychologists today, that's what they shared. But what they didn't share is whether or not it was a 9-to-5, whether it was entrepreneur work, whether it was for small business. So I looked up the definition for what is a job. And what I found is that a job is a task that we get paid to do. So it doesn't matter if you are doing your own business, but if you're working at your own business as a task, as a job, you're not going to be happy. And it's going to lead to other things. Stress, more and more stress, right? But wait, there's more. About 120,000 people die every year as a direct result from, you guessed it, stress. It's just too much. It's just too much. We can't take it. But guess what we do? Instead of looking for the right solution, we bargain with ourselves. Let me share what I mean. During high levels of stress in your life, have you ever heard yourself or maybe a friend or a family member say, when I win the lotto, Haley, things are going to be different. Mel, when the kids come out of school, I'm going to be all right. Oh, wait. Maybe when I get married, when I get into that relationship, you see how we bargain with ourselves? And sadly, this way of thinking and bargaining only adds more stress, more pressure, more overwhelm. Then we have our friend frustration who says, you know what, I'm coming along for the ride, jumps in the passenger seat. And you know why frustration jumps in? Because when what we believe will make us happy doesn't happen fast enough, we get pissed. We get pissed. And then life throws at us, as if we don't have enough, Things like the C-19, injustice, social distancing, unemployment. It just keeps adding on. But you're okay. You know why? Because I got a solution for you. I am here to offer you a simple solution that's going to help you move past whatever is holding you back. It's going to help you understand how valuable you truly are. The solution is about trusting you and trusting the process. And again, remember at the beginning, I said Michael Jordan trusted the process, not necessarily his process. And that is because success leaves clues. We've heard it before. And we're not following our clues, because if we were, we'd already, reach where we wanted to reach. Wouldn't you say? So let me tell you something. Before making lots of money, before building relationships, before perfecting our products or how we serve, who's there? You. You are there, front and center. Before we get whatever it is that we believe we deserve, it starts with us. It starts with our why. It starts with our goal. It starts with our mindset. It starts with you, which is why this solution that I'm offering is simple. It's about you first. But here's the kicker. Success doesn't end with you alone, does it? Remember at the beginning of the session, we talked to a couple of participants and they shared their why? What did you hear? Okay, this is the moment where you get to win this freebie. Who can tell me what both persons' names were and what their why were? Unmute yourself, please. Who can tell me the answers? Who said it and what did they say?
That was Mel, and she was talking about the humanity in general, and Meg was talking about her family.
There you
in
go.
General.
It ends with somebody else, right, Janet?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Woo! Hands of applause because Miss Janet got the freebie. Great job. Thank you so much. Now, everyone, take your finger, your index finger, and point to yourself and repeat after me out loud. I am the common denominator.
I am the common denominator.
I am my best asset.
I am my best asset.
I have to stand until my business can stand on its own.
I have to stand until my business can stand on its own.
That's right. That's right. Because the solution is simple once you think of it like that, because guess what happens? It's about you, your self-care, and very underlined boldly self-love. Would you not say? It's about you taking care of you. So out loud again, I am undeniable. Yes, you are. And I know everyone's sitting there thinking, well, who is this person who didn't even introduce herself? She's telling me about my problems. She's telling me she's got some solutions for me. She's giving away freebies. Well, here you go. My name again is Myrtha Dubois. I've had 30 plus years in corporate, 5 of which I was able to promote individuals to leadership positions. And then the other 5, I was able to focus on individuals who needed some fulfillment out of their careers, right? They just weren't happy. I am a 3 times best-selling author. I am a 3 times international best-selling author, 2 times best-selling author with numerous categories. I've written over 12 publications in both magazines and podcasting. I am a member of the Women Who Care, and this is regarding women who are homeless. And basically there's a group under the Homeless Empowerment Program that allows them to take care of their children with a little bit of support, okay? I'm also a member of National Alliance of Mental Illness in local, state, and national levels. And one thing I'm very proud of is not only am I an entrepreneur, I am a boss. And I believe a boss for me is being beautiful inside and out, not just putting on makeup, putting on clothes, but really having a genuine heart, being an overcomer, as I am a solution-oriented person. I believe in being supportive as well for the women that are in the trenches with me and moving forward as far as building our communities. And I really believe in hashtag it still takes a village. I'm also a servant with a servant's heart, and I have a servant's attitude. Now, you've heard a little bit about me. Would you mind if I share a personal story with you? Is that okay with you? Okay. So I was born in a country called, let me let this person in. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. I was born in a country called Jacmel, and it's in Haiti, right? It's next to the Dominican Republic. It's in Haiti. And I came to the United States with my mom when I was about 5 years old, my mom and my dad. We landed in the Big Apple, New York City. Yes, that's right, a cold place, like wine. By the age of 5, I was here in America. By the age of 9, I found myself home with only my mom. Remember, I came to the United States with my father and my mother. And by the age of 9, I found myself living with a single parent. That is when it really started. You know, some of you may be sitting there thinking, man, you know, I've always had to fight real hard. I always had to push real hard. And which leaves us sometimes slow to think for ourselves, slow to get that mindset that Padre was talking about, slow to setting goals, because it's just we come with so much pressure and buildup that we don't know where to start. Well, my buildup started at the age of 9. When I was living with my mom, who was raising 3 kids of her own, and she had a high school, not even a high school degree. So you can only imagine the type of jobs that she was being offered. Anyways, when I turned 11 years old, my brother, who was 24 at the time, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And I was voluntold that I needed to be my brother's keeper. Imagine that. You know, I was his caretaker. Now, can you feel the overwhelm, the fear, the doubt, the confusion on an 11-year-old child? I got to the point that I needed to leave home, and I couldn't wait to be of age. So by the time I got to high school, it was on. I got pregnant and I got married in that order. Because I thought, hey, I'm getting out. Well, who knows that the joke was on me, right? Because with the marriage came even more pressure. You know, you talk about having a full-time job, you're talking about having children and their activities and project. You got, you know, project after project, and you got these deadlines, and things are just piling up. But I didn't know what stress was, but I knew I was feeling it. I was experiencing it. I will never forget the moment I walked into a grocery store, and the aisles just kept going and going and going, as if I was in a cartoon. You know that way? When there's no end to something. And all of a sudden, I'm looking around, and I can see people's mouths moving, but I couldn't hear what they were saying. You know, I felt alone. I felt cold. I really believe that I was to the point of no return, until I felt somebody's arm come around me like this and gently kind of squeeze me closer to her. And I can smell her perfume was like a little flowery light scent. And she just kept squeezing me until I felt safe. When I left that grocery store that day, I was very grateful. But I also started to think that moment, because we're going to talk moments. In that moment, when I walked out of that grocery store, I said to myself, wait a minute, I'm still standing. I'm still present. Over the next few months, I started to challenge myself. And my question changed from, why is this happening to me? started from my mom's house, gone to marriage, and now here I am, you know, in somebody's store that I don't even know. And those questions turn to, what can I do to overcome this so this doesn't happen to me again? How many of you know that was my big girl moment right there? That was my big girl moment in that, walking away from that store. That was my big girl moment. This is how I discovered that I needed to be undeniable. I am undeniable. And all I needed to do is pull from inside me those things, those tools that I am equipped with. Being undeniable, knowing that I was, gave me my life back, gave me my strength back, built up my confidence, clarified my vision, and gave me my why to live. If you look into my drawer right now, in my bedroom, I have a drawer full of big girl panties because I grew up. Some of you may be sitting there thinking, well, Myrtha, you know, that sounds a little personal. It's not really, you know, a lot of business. Well, maybe. How many of us know that some of the things that we learn are just somebody else's reality? You know, especially if we're people pleasers, especially if we want to fit in, if you will, right? Not make waves. So people tell us this is how we're supposed to think, so we think. But what if I told you that the separation between business and personal, that line is very thin. It may have been all business a few months ago. That is, of course, before the world had to take a personal time out, right? It may have been all business a few months ago. That is before the world had to just stop all personal relationship activities. It may have been all business a few months ago. That is before unemployment started to rise in the millions. And that's that cycle that turns into chaos when things just happen unexpectedly, unintentionally, and just interrupts our flow. There's a disorder there. And it doesn't really matter what my story is compared to your story. The point is, we are all looking. We used to look for that balance, but we know there's no real balance. But we're looking for that flow, for that wave, with our families, with our health, with our finances, with our connection to the universe, right? We desire to protect our families, to show others that we care, to stay as healthy as we can be, to be connected and grounded to something deeper than ourselves. We want to have money to take care of our necessities, but we also want to be able to enjoy life with whatever it is that's left. And we honestly believe that we can. That is before life set in and our dreams get so small. That is before life sets in and the time for me gets even smaller. Right? The me time is smaller. And then we have everything holding us back. We got the husbands, we got the kids, we got the responsibilities, we got the bills that keeps piling up. Everything is just coming at us. You know, I wish someone would have told me, Myrtha, be prepared, because the moments that take your breath away will be life transforming. So I ask you, when things get a little unsettled in your life, and be honest, when it seems like things are spinning out of control, there's chaos involved because it's interrupting your flow. When you feel like you're going under and you can no longer do what you do because the pressure, the weight is too much and your head feels like it's underwater. What do you do? What do you do? The answer for me was breathe. You want to move whatever's holding you down, whatever's holding you back. At that moment, you desperately want to live. You want life. You want relief. Like in my story, the pressure, the buildup, the stress, the uncertainty, the doubt, all of it came at one time. Now, I know, I see some faces like, Myrtha, you know, breathing is automatic. And I'd say, yeah, it is. Of course, when you're running around, hustling, running fast, guess what happens? We tend to forget to breathe. And that's why it must be enforced. That's why it must be intentional. You know, I can remember running, zipping through my life, my personal and my business life came clashing together. And I felt that, you know what, Myrtha, if you just hold it for a moment, you can play catch up. You know, the world will just stop. You can play catch up. How many of us know that that's a myth? You can't play catch up. Intentional breathing is a tool to getting back what situations and circumstances outside of your control is taken away from you. And that's you. You need to show up as your best self. You need to be in charge of what you do. You need to face everything that you're doing so that you can reach. Your reach can be so much more. You can reach your vision. You can reach your dream. Move past your fears. Move past your doubts. How do I know? Intentional breathing is the very tool I use personally to help me get grounded and continues to keep me grounded. How many of you know you can't do something just once and expect for it to work? Time after time, moment after moment, year after year, situation after situation. Write this down. Once you accept that you are not in control, then surrendering becomes less of a fight. And guess what you have? Just like that picture. And if you haven't caught it, that's the secret. You got to release the control that you don't have anyway. You can't control the weather, but you can be in charge of you and how you react to the weather. You get what I'm saying? That is the secret. You have to release the control. Because if you are still standing, if you are still breathing intentionally, you're still living and you still have enough life left to go do what you need to do. And it's not selfish for some me time. It's actually your responsibility. Otherwise, guess what happens? You drown. And that business, that personal life, the relationships, that vision that you thought you had is gone right along with you. And so I know some of you might be asking, well, Myrtha, how do you do this intentional breathing thing? I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to show you. Move everything out of your way right now. Clear your lap, your desk. And if you can sit up with your feet flat on the floor, you're going to have one of your hand, your palm of your hand on your chest. The other hand is going to be on your stomach. When I say inhale, you're going to inhale through your nose slowly. And you're going to do that for a count of 3. We're going to hold our breath for a count of 2. And when I say exhale, we're going to exhale through our mouth. And you're going to exhale for a count of 4. Now, here's the difference. When you inhale, your stomach is going to go out. So that's why that other hand is there to feel it coming out. And when you exhale, the stomach is going to go in. Okay, are we ready? All right, now I'm going to let you know that practice brings improvement. So it may feel a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. We're not running a race here. We're running a marathon. It's okay. The other thing is, some of you might want to picture like a beautiful blue skies with some nice fluffy clouds to get you into that mood. Some of us might want to picture some nice green and blue beach waters with the white sand and the waves just kind of waving ever so lightly. But picture something that's going to put you in a little peace of mind. Okay? And here we go. Close our eyes for a minute. And we're going to inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to inhale. 1, 2, 3 through your nose. Hold it. 1, 2. And we're going to exhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to push that stomach in when we're exhaling because we are releasing some things. And when we're inhaling, we are sucking up something else. All right? One more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wow. Thank you so very much. Tell me, what are you feeling? You can go ahead and unmute. Tell me what you're feeling.
Relief.
A little relief, right? Do you get a sense of who's feeling any clarity, any removal of all that stuff that's building up in your head?
Control.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so very much. You see, when we inhale, we are filling our bodies up with much needed oxygen. And you know what that oxygen does? It gives our muscles, our brain, and our cells what it needs to work, perform. And when we exhale, we are releasing waste. 70% to be exact of waste comes through our exhale, our breathing. And what happens is when we breathe out through our mouths, that 70% is also contributed to some weight loss. Imagine that. It's waste, stuff we don't need. 30% comes out of our bladders and our bowels, but 70% is as a direct result from our breathing. You know, they say that we can go 40 days without food and 3 days without water, right? But how long can you go without air, without breathing? Not too long. So think about that. You know, there was a study in the Journal of Medical Research, and it found that intentional breathing also helps with burnout. You know that when we're working or moving and we're like, we get so sluggish and we can't do it no more. We're tired. That's our emotional burnout. That's what intentional breathing does. It removes all that gunk. It activates our body's what's called rest and digest system. And that helps with our heart rate. It helps with our blood pressure. It helps with our anxieties. You see, that time when I was in the grocery stores, I was having a panic attack episode. And because I wasn't breathing, I was relying on the automated breathing. I was sucking up more air than I needed. And sucking up all that oxygen caused even more confusion. Is it making sense? Am I making some sense to you? Okay. Let's check to see how I'm doing with the promises. Promise to be transparent and vulnerable. We already talked about that. Have I shared my secret? The breathing is the tool. Have I equipped you with that tool? And I'm about to empower you to promote self-love right now. Everybody just hug yourself. Just hug, 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 hug. Ah, I see you, Mel. I see that's a lot of self-love. I see you, girl. And by the end of this session, I am still getting ready to invite you to live on purpose and with purpose. Now, looking back into everything that we talked about today, would you agree that life will impose things on you that you cannot control? But you have to choose how you are going to live through it. You got to choose. That makes sense. And when you think about that, it all boils down to preparation, to practice, and it boils down to support. That's what it is. In the business world, we are taught that, you know, a great investment has an even greater return. That's what we learn, right? So timing is everything because we live moment to moment. We can go into the office feeling good. We get one client coming in, and that moment that we were feeling okay, it just goes. And if we don't catch ourselves and catch our breathing and how we're breathing, we can lose ourselves in that moment. Would you agree? Yeah, we can lose ourselves. So in a matter of seconds, we can start to feel that overwhelm again. We can start to feel that stress again. It's going to cause this chaos, this whirlwind around us. And we get frustrated and we stay in a state of confusion. So let me just share with you, Miriam, I think I'm going too fast. All right. So Miriam talks about the sessions, the breathing sessions being a good investment of her time. And she noticed she didn't say money, right? So let me tell you, in business, we talk about investment is about time, effort or energy, and money. You got to be all in. That's where the preparation comes. You got to be all in. Because your business will go up and down. The people that comes into our lives, the personalities got us going high and low, high and low. We're just moving all over the place. But the good news is that we can recognize those moments in the moment, and we can take charge. We can take charge. And again, the difference between those who keeps moving forward and you think, man, they just success after success after success, boils down to three things again: preparation, practice, and support. Because in the moment of any situation, they are in charge. See, when you lose sight of your breathing, that rhythm goes out the window. You're not walking. Hey, I'm walking in sunshine. I can't sing. Hey, hey. You don't have that anymore. You're bumping into things. You're bumping into people. You know, my time is a little bit off. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me see my time. Oh. So this is my personal invite to you, the Be Undeniable You Challenge, where you can live on purpose. Intentional breathing is just the first step. Remember that. You need preparation, you need practice, and you need support. But the challenge that we face is, again, when we get back out there, the big C is gone. We're going to think everything's okay again. As we see now, people walking without masks, people are just, you know, having a good old time. We think that things are okay. And that's the myth. That when we go out, we're going to start living our lives as they were. But we got to learn where to come back to our practice. If you were stuck into an elevator right now, first thing you do is panic. But if you had skills, your skills kick in almost immediately. And that's what this is all about. So Sonella had to say that she was found the missing puzzle piece, and she was able to put him in the right place. And the reason why I put this here is because we are the puzzle piece that's in the center of our puzzle. Now you can have everything around your puzzle, but if you're missing that center, do you really have a picture? A clear picture? You don't have it. So you gotta be in the center of it. You gotta have clarity. Clarity is the first act to getting what you want. Trisha says she was so stressed emotionally and she was trying to balance, there goes that word that we don't want to use, home and work. She was trying to take control. That's the other word we don't want to use. And she forgot to breathe. Imagine that. This simple exercise of breathing calmed her down, and she was able to clear her mind to do what she needed to do. The second part that we want to do, we want to understand who we are, what we're worth. And when we know that, we can have a seat at anybody's table, including our own. We have Christina, who said that she was transformed with intentional breathing. Her perspective, her energy, right? You want to dance in the rain. You need some energy for that. And if you spill it all over people and things that you are not in control of, that's a wasted moment. Right? When we talk about developing and activating your skills, which you already are equipped with. Andrea talks about keeping herself focused and productive because she had a plan. She was prepared, she had practice, and she had support. If you're not focused, you're not following that goal. You're not reaching that plan. You're not making business success stories. And you need a community. You need a community behind you to support you. That's where the mastermind groups come, the networking groups come, which is priceless. Now let me ask you, if all this challenge, this breathing challenge, this undeniable you challenge, if all it did was allow you to flow through your day, would you want to know about it? If all this challenge did was help you face your day with a little bit more clarity and remind you that you are in charge, would you want to know a little bit about that? If all this challenge did was remind you consistently, because you know when you get out there, anything goes, right? The wind might blow the wrong way, and guess what? You are already spinning. But if you were reminded consistently, one more time, Haley?
We are out of time.
Out of time, all right. Well, that is my time for today. And I just want to let me end up with this one section right here. That breathing is about living. Intentional breathing is about living your best life. You need practice, you need preparation, and you need support.